As for the here and now at the Raiders, I know you're obviously very tight with them. What can you share about Antonio Brown with the fan base here of what exactly happened there, Charles?
I feel like the Oakland Raiders really bent over backwards, to make things work there in Oakland. I mean, there was a lot of things that went on. You had the whole helmet situation. You had, the cryotherapy, situation where all of a sudden he couldn't practice. You had instances of him, just leaving. And the Raiders wanted to make it work. I mean, he's an all-world talent. And, when you're a talented player in any league, you're afforded some exceptions. And so they gave him every exception that you could possibly give a player, expecting that he was going to be a Raider. And then all of a sudden, the reports come out about, him in an altercation with with the general manager. And then, man, he releases a video where he's, tape recording the conversations. And so, of course, it reached a level to where it couldn't go any further than that. And so, I mean, that's kind of just the way, just a recap of the way it went down. But I know the Raiders, they bent over backwards to try to have Antonio suit up in the silver and black.
Well, I mean, when people get confused or there's no answer for something, obviously that's when conspiracy theories come out. And the one that Antonio realized that it wasn't going to work there for whatever reason, and he did his best to go out knowing that New England would be sitting there for him, and he orchestrated the last few days. I mean, Chris Mortensen even reported from your former place of business. You're now with Fox Sports. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You bet that he sought out methods to get himself out through social media experts. Do you put any credence into the fact that he didn't want to be there anymore and fought his way out to New England?
I think as the way things ended up, it does seem a little bit that way. And here's what I base it on. He had a whole issue, with the helmet. I want to wear my old helmet. I can't find a helmet. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. I'm filing an agreement with the NFL. All of a sudden, it goes through the problem with the GM and then, the tape. And then all of a sudden, okay, he's making all these noise about all of these different things. And then he gets his way out of Oakland. Then he goes to New England. Okay. So at that point, Zenith, the company, the helmet company, they decide to break ties with him. Have you heard anything about that helmet since?
No.
Like you would assume if he's mad about people who, chastise him or, for lack of a better word, or people who don't want to deal with him or that he doesn't like or, severs ties with him. What we've seen in the last 3 months, he lashes out. I haven't heard anything from him, from anybody in his camp about him having any problem with Zenith letting him go. And everything, he's in New England now, haven't heard a thing.
Well, maybe that just seems to normally happen with New England, right? That somebody else's, for the lack of a better phrase, problem player becomes a model citizen once they're in the Patriot Way system. I mean, you were there, you saw the Patriots. I mean, did you sense any boat rocking that was going on involving number 17, formerly 84, on that day when you personally were standing on the sidelines?
I didn't see anything remotely close to being out of order in New England. I mean, they walked out there on that field, and they were a well-oiled machine. And the most interesting thing to me is that I'm sitting there on the sideline, and the first, he didn't start the game, but he got in the second play, and they went to him, 3 out of 4 times to get him the ball. And I remember turning around, talking to one of the producers, and I'm like, man, this is Bill Belichick putting the middle finger up to everybody out there that had a problem with Antonio Brown going into to New England. So I didn't see any problems. I know people were speculating or talking about how difficult the New England offense was, but I saw him run jet sweeps. I saw him run seam routes. I saw him motion. I saw him shifting, and I saw a guy who seemed like he was well versed in their offense. So I think there's something to it where he goes to New England and Brady brings him in, and they are going over the offense, and he's making sure that Antonio Brown is ready to go out there and play. And it looked like he had been there all training camp. So I didn't see, one iota of a problem with him being there. And I think, with everything that's going on, he's going to have a fantastic year with the New England Patriots because we haven't heard anything out of him.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.